Stagnation is the killer of an already solid team, and lack of development opportunities will see a team that struggles continue to flounder. Being in and occupying a state of chrysalis is incredibly important for developing a great team and to develop yourself as a good leader. See here.
Just lead.
Chrysalis is the last C in my Honesty and the 4 C's system. And it might sound ridiculous, and it might look like that I was just pulling together something to make it sound good in making it Honesty and the 4 C's with Chrysalis. But Chrysalis is truly what it needs to be. When you don't seek to develop your team, you'll stagnate. And when you stagnate, it's the same as going backwards when those around you are progressing forwards. Chrysalis is the state in an insect's life when it's going from caterpillar to butterfly, when it's living in that cocoon. And inside that cocoon, it's constantly going through growth and change in order to go from the lowly caterpillar into this spectacular thing, the butterfly. It's completely changing its makeup into something new, into something better. And as a leader, you need to inhabit the state of chrysalis if you're going to get your team from bad to good to great. Here are some statistics to keep in mind regarding development opportunities. 94% of employees say that they will stay longer at a company if given development opportunities. 34% of people left their prior roles because of a lack of development opportunities. 70% of employees have stated that they would leave a company in preference for one that prioritizes employee development. Beyond these incredible statistics, a workforce that has access to development opportunities are more likely to be an engaged workforce, and an engaged employee far outweighs a disengaged one. Engaged employees outperform disengaged employees by a staggering 202%. Disengaged employees cost $7.8 trillion per year globally. Engaged employees increase productivity in the workplace. Companies boasting an engaged workforce are 21% more profitable than those that don't. So clearly you should be focusing on development opportunities for your team. But how you approach this is different for each individual that you've got. The needs of the individual need to align with the needs of the company in order for everyone to be happy. As a leader, you should have a growth mindset where you're looking for opportunities to develop your team everywhere you possibly can. Some examples of where you can get opportunities to develop your team are as follows. You can start delegating your work to your employees so that they get an insight into what your role is like and if they want to develop into that role in the future. Talent management. If your organization has a talent management system, ensure that those that should be on that system are flagged for talent. That means that they'll get opportunities when they arise throughout the entire business, not just focused to you seeing opportunity for them. Further study. The way you support this as a leader is ensuring that you have enough money pocketed away in the budget so that people can go away and do further study, whether that's an extra trade or extra tertiary study. You should have succession planning in place for all the roles, not necessarily just the supervisory ones. For example, we had train experts in my last role. They were at the same level as every other maintainer in my team, however it was a specialised role. So we ensured that we had succession planning in place so that the other maintainers spent time in that role to get used to it, so that we're not left uncovered when someone goes down sick for a long period of time. Cross-skilling. Expose members of your team to other areas of your department. Jocko Willink discusses it well in his chapter Cover and Move in the book Extreme Ownership. We need to be able to cover our teammates when they need it. Say someone goes down with a long-term sickness or injury. We need to be able to cover their position effectively as soon as we possibly can. By cross-skilling within our team, we ensure that we're covered for all scenarios. And finally, in failure, we seek opportunity. When things go wrong and the organisation is in crisis mode, there's going to be opportunity for individuals to step up, to grow, to learn and to develop. How quickly will someone new to the business come along if they're thrown into that disaster scenario to help out and do what they can? They're going to grow and develop so quickly with that experience. Through all of these opportunities, you need to back in your team 100%. Give them the tools and the time that they need in order to be able to explore that development opportunity. If you don't, it will be a hollow gesture. It will look like you're just giving development opportunities in order to get ticks from higher ups. You will lose the trust and respect of your team. I'm going to take a little break here just to let you know that I do have a Patreon community that you can become a part of. And that community is all about sharing my advice and coaching tips to you directly. So make sure you click that link down below and become a patron today. Enough of that, let's get back to the video. But what about you? All this energy and effort you're putting into developing your team, you should be putting just as much energy into yourself. The world is ever changing and we need to adapt to that change. I talk about this in other videos like treating leadership as a vocation and changing behaviours. The world is ever changing. There's always new theories being developed in how to approach certain situations that you need to be on the front foot with. New generations of people are entering the workforce with different expectations and the demographic is constantly changing. As a leader in this world, you need to keep up with this change and educate and develop yourself to be ready with this change. My own opinion on the role that a company has in this ever-changing world has changed in just the last 5 years. Because I spend time reading and learning and growing, I listen to and read the stories of people to understand the ever-changing face of the workforce. A common phrase to hear at work is that some people know that they can't say certain things at work, which means that they're probably saying these things outside of work. And this will simply not work for you as a leader because you need to be able to bring your whole and authentic, honest self to work. And when you can't do that and you can't say certain things because of what you believe, it means that you're going to be seen as a fraud. Again, you'll lose the trust and respect of your team. Take this as a sign that you need to put energy into understanding and developing, work through what your issues are, and then come to the other side with a realization that you can lead in this new and exciting world that we live in. Inhabit Chrysalis or you will stagnate and fail. When growth and development becomes a priority for the way that you run your team, productivity and performance is going to improve. Employee retention increases. Profitability goes up. And employee satisfaction improves. Growth and development need to be how you define yourself and your team if you're going to have any chance of succeeding. Click here to see one of the other C's in the Honesty and the 4C's system in cooperation, or click down here if you want to dive into treating leadership as a vocation.